Hello beautiful creative people, Kyla Give Hand here for a quick little walkthrough video of my first impressions of the Sharpie art pen. Now this is my first time, I haven't even opened it, I haven't taken it out of the packaging yet, so this will be my first time playing with it. And what I thought I'd do is just pull out some of the books that I use most often and just walk through doing just a little bit of a pen test. And I have a regular ultra fine point Sharpie permanent marker here, as well as the traditional Sharpie, which is, it just happens to be inside of a little Sherpa pen, but it's the traditional Sharpie, so I'll have those on hand as well, just to kind of test so you can see the difference, sort of a comparison. So just to walk you through first the journals and notebooks that I'll be using, the Moleskine little daily, I think it's the daily journal. It has like 300 and some odd pages all the way for the entire year. If you've been following Draw Riot, that's Tori. I did an interview with Tori last year and we talked about her challenge that she has been doing for, I think this is either her third or fourth year that she's going on doing this, where she has a bunch of them. And I did one last year. I haven't done my little walkthrough for you guys yet, but I will do that. And then this is my 2017 one that I'm a little bit behind in, but I'm doing this again. So this is one that I kind of am using every day, so I thought this would be a good one to test. My butterfly journal from Jane Davenport, so it has different kinds of paper, so we'll get to test different kinds of paper using this one. This is a Dilutions journal, and I'm using this because I know a lot of you guys out there have this and you use it pretty frequently. This is one I haven't really been using as much. I don't even think I've done a page in here yet. This one's fairly new, yeah. So we'll test some of the pen out on that. Then I have my Passion Planner, and this is my everyday planner where I keep all of my appointments. We'll flip ahead a little bit here. This is this is my planner, and this is my every single day kind of thing. I look at this thing 2, 3, 4 times a day. So I thought, well, we should test it out, because sometimes I like to put pops of color or color code things or put things in certain colors so they stand out in my mind. So I thought I'd use that as a sample. And then my bullet journal, and this is my 2017 one. I haven't done a walkthrough of it yet, of the setup for this, but I will do this for you guys in the next week or so. I'll try to get that up, and that way you can see the full thing. But we'll flip to the back and do a sample test page just to see how these pens will take in the Leuchtturm notebooks. And then finally, I thought there's a lot of folks out there doing coloring and using the adult coloring books, and so I have this really cool one here by my friend Kelly Johnson. It's called 12-month. It's a 12-month art and nature journal. Mindfully color, sketch, and relax your way into nature. And so Kelly has done this really amazing job of giving us, you know, each month has a flower that is associated with it, and then you also get a little monthly grid here where you can do a little doodle each day inside the grid, or a little drawing. So I thought I would play around, and then she's got space for you to journal, and then just kind of play around and add to the pages. So I thought I'd test it out on this as well, just to see. Okay, so those are the test journals that we'll be using, and the product is the Sharpie art pen. And now I came across this in Office Depot, and it literally jumped off the case, off the shelf at me, seriously. And it jumped off because it had the words art pen on it. So I took that to mean it's different than these, just the regular, what we know to be the regular ultra fine point Sharpies. So I thought, okay, I have to get that. Comes in a hard case. This is the 8, the set of 8, but there's also a set of 12. I didn't see the set of 12 in Office Depot, so I just went for the 8. and I had actually never seen it before, but what it says is that these won't bleed through paper. It says that they are acid-free, waterproof, don't smudge, lots of other little things. And then when I flipped it over on the back, it had this little image showing that it can, this case can stand up on its own. So let's test that and see. Ah, it slides right out. How funny. So we'll test that and see. Alright, so we've got the case. Looks like there's a little piece there for it to clip into. You can hear the click. And there you have it. It's standing up. Nice. I like that. So we'll just move those right there to the side so you can still see them. And we'll start with Kelly's book, and we'll go to February since that's where we are. And I'm not going to color the whole thing, but I thought I'd just, it's primrose, and I don't know why. When I think of primrose, I absolutely think of pink. So we'll start with the pink, and we'll just do one of them. So before I jump in though, let's talk about the pen itself. So the pen is, if you look at it relative to this particular Sharpie, these are ones we kind of all know and either love or hate. And so you have the Sharpie pen. It has, you know, color of the top is the color of the ink. It's got a band around the bottom, and it just says Sharpie pen on it. Let's see. Feels nice in the hand. It's a good size. It's a little bit, yeah, it's actually a really good size. Feels good. Okay, so let's just play with this one here, and we'll just do one. The ink lays down really well. It's coming out very fluid. Not too juicy. I don't see a lot of feathering happening, so that's good. And for those of you that don't know that terminology, feathering just means when you lay the ink down, it spreads out on its own, which is one of the things a lot of mixed media, art journaling people, we don't like that because we want it to go where we tell it to go. We don't want you doing anything extra there. So far, it's laying down pretty well. Very similar to the Staedtler, those of you that have that brand, it kind of lays down there. I actually find that those have a super fine tip, and this tip isn't as fine as those. So this is nice, not too bad. And I'll bring this up closer so you can see it in a second here. But what I want to test first is, what does our bleed through look like? And this paper is pretty thin. It's probably more akin to like printer paper. So you can see that there is a little bit of ghosting, a little bit of bleed through there. So I suspect after I color the whole thing, it would be a significant amount showing through on the other side. So, but you can see the, you know, how the color kind of lays down there. It's a pretty vibrant, pretty magenta pink color. All right, so we'll test it there, and then let's test it in my bullet journal, because that's another important place. So let's just go to the back here and see if I can't. I don't know if I did a test page in here. Yeah, there we go. We have a pen test page. So we'll just go right there. And I use a lot of, I want to see how the black functions in this page, or on this page, in this book, in this journal. Okay, so we've got the Sharpie Art Pen there, and not a lot of bleed through on the back. Not any, actually. It's pretty much just about the same as all the others that I use in this notebook. So that is a good sign. And we'll do one in color just for the sake of trying it out. And I'm going to go with, let's go with the orange. So there you have it. Not a lot. Not any. I keep saying not a lot, but it has a little bit of ghosting, but there's no bleed through. Perfect. Alright, so let's try the Passion Planner. And I typically I've not really done pen tests in this because I already know it's fountain pen friendly, and I primarily use my fountain pen in this So we'll try a different color. Let's try the green. True to form, barely any ghosting on this paper and no bleed through. So that's pretty nice. Let's try the Delusions journal. And this is like Bristol paper cardstock, so a little bit of ghosting, but no bleed through. So that's cool. So all of you that like to do, you know, I'm one. I like to do my handwriting first. I like to journal and then I'll gesso over that. Those pens will be great for that. You won't have a lot of ghosting. So before we go to the Jane Davenport, let's go to the Moleskine. And let's just go to one of these front pages that don't always get used for. And we'll do the blue since we haven't done that one yet. Now this paper is super thin. It's one of my biggest pet peeves about this paper. So Sharpie Art Pen. We'll do a little bit of coloring just to see what happens. So yeah, you've got some ghosting, but again, no bleed through, which is pretty amazing for this thin paper. This paper is super, super thin. Super thin. Alright, and last but not least, let's give it a try in the different papers that we have here for the Jane Davenport journal. Now this first set is watercolor paper. Let's see. Yep. This is watercolor paper that I put in myself. So let's go with the green. I don't think we've done green yet. No, we did green, but let's do that again. I mean, barely any ghosting and no bleed through. So I'm gonna say that I think these are doing pretty good. We'll try the brown on the craft paper. Nope. Now craft paper is pretty sturdy, pretty heavy paper, so nothing there either. So I'm thinking these might be great. Obviously that's black paper. We're not gonna get anything. Too bad there's not a white one. Yeah, nothing's gonna show up there. And then we'll try, I think there's some Bristol paper in here. Just see what the Bristol paper is doing. Ooh, it's nice and smooth on this Bristol paper. I could write with that for a long time.